Hello, everybody. My name is Shannon, and I'm here to inform you about what it takes to be a great host or hostess. Who is the first impression as well as the last? Who is underappreciated but necessary nonetheless? Hosting is a craft that is meticulously built over time. Although it may look like an easy job, hosting requires a vast amount of patience and common sense and attention to detail. I am presenting this information today in order to teach those who have never worked in a restaurant why obtaining a suitable table might be a little bit of a complicated task. My first job was hosting at an Italian restaurant. I did that for about 4 months before I moved to serving tea at a restaurant for a year. And later on, I became a host at a well known restaurant, and I've been there for a year and 4 months. Recently, I also got a job as a cashier and hostess at a restaurant that is included into a hotel as well. So dealing with a variety of customers is pretty routine for me, but there is of course a first time for everything. And when it comes to dealing with strange requests and rude people, I usually can handle it pretty well. When a person walks into a restaurant, they are to be greeted by a cheerful, smiley host or hostess and should be brought to a clean and available table in a timely fashion. It is important to know that although the scenario happens pretty frequently, there are possible unknown and unexpected occurrences that end up leading to a clean table, or preferably a booth, of course. A great host stays friendly and welcoming and remains calm under pressure. They can also determine the perfect table for their darling customers. People seem to think they are entitled to the best possible seat and server in the restaurant. This is a quote from WikiHow. Newsflash, this isn't possible, and neither is the delusion that I will be able to give you a nice quiet spot when we're in a family-friendly restaurant that might actually be on the loud side. It is important to at least try to acquiesce these requests from customers, but just know that it might not always be possible. Just try as hard as you can. So my first point is to be friendly and inviting to each customer upon arrival. I am instructed to open the door for as many guests as I can, and I greet them with a warm smile and a genuine verbal welcome, consisting of, saying, "Hi, how are you doing today?" Something like that would work. This helps the guests feel a little bit more at home. After repeating these actions over and over, the night wears on, and I realize that they're probably actually the reason why I haven't gone home yet, but I don't let that affect how I'm feeling because, we want them to have a happy and acceptable visit to their restaurant. So I instead remain smiling no matter what is actually going on in my mind. I ask each guest while looking them in the eye how their day is going, maybe make some slight small talk, and I continue to determine whether they want a booth or a table, whether they want to sit on the inside of the bar or the outside of the bar. And I also find out if they need any other accommodations, such as wheelchair accessible tables, high chairs, booster seats, that kind of thing. I also make sure that I don't let the pushiness of a guest affect my composure and my energy. That leads me to my next point, which is to stay calm under pressure, under the pressure of an impatient guest versus the busy, overworked servers. So retaining composure can be hard when dealing with stressed out waiters and hangry guests, says Marstetti Food Service. Ever-changing wait lists and clean tables or not clean tables can also be confusing for an inexperienced host. So it is important to not get flustered or confused by the changes. Some possible changes that might happen would be that a server might end up, not working anymore, which is called being cut. And so that might cause the section to change a little bit. So it is important to keep that in mind when you're seating again. So hospitality is about emotion and connecting with the human emotion. Guests can be pretty pushy and opinionated, but they can also be relaxed or open-minded / not picky. So it is important that no matter what the personality of the patient, that we treat them equal and with fairness. Try to give the benefit of the doubt to each person because they might be just a little cranky because they haven't eaten yet or something. The final step is, of course, to determine the best table for that customer. And the way that we do that is we can plan ahead a little bit, depending on what tables we have. But a lot of times there might be an unexpectedly large party or some picky people as well. So keep in mind the size of the table pertaining to the size of the party. They might also care about how the section feels. It might be overcrowded or cold, hot, loud, things like that. So just be sure to be calm about what they might say and not get flustered when they keep on asking for a different table. Also, it's important to keep in mind the current condition of the server's attitude and whether they have a bunch of tables or hardly any at all. So if I just had a large party with somebody, I need to make sure I give them some extra time to enter in those extra drinks into the computer system and take their orders. I also later check back to make sure that the guest has been greeted properly so that they may feel valued and appreciated as well. Once the table has been properly greeted, the responsibility of the host to that specific party has been lifted, or has it? A host job may seem simple, seat and greet, of course, but I hope that after I've concluded my speech that you will find that there's actually a lot more that's going on behind that host stand. A gracious, helpful, pleasant, quick host or hostess is one who is friendly, calm, and efficient in finding you the best possible seating arrangement, in addition to being as speedy as possible as well. That concludes my speech. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day.